The dispatch note just said palletized freight, Silver Lace Club, rear entrance. Nothing unusual. I'd made runs like this 100 times. The place looked closed from outside, blacked out windows, a buzzing neon sign missing its S. I knocked. A woman answered. "You're early," she said, her smile disarming. She was stunning in the kind of way that makes you forget what you were about to say. Late 30s maybe, sheer black outfit, dark eyes that didn't blink quite as often as they should have. I got a delivery. She insisted on helping me wheel the pallet in. The place was empty, not closed empty, but empty like held breath. Rows of chairs faced a stage with a pole that had a faint sheen to it. "Let me give you a private tour," she said, already walking, not waiting for an answer. I followed her down a hallway that seemed longer than the building looked from outside. She pointed out rooms, VIP lounges. She said, but the doors were slightly ajar, and in the gaps I caught glimpses of shapes sitting very still in the dark. "You have a good look about you," she said, stopping close enough that I could feel the temperature drop between us. "Best of the best, that's me. Come back tonight, I'll show you." I asked for a receipt signature to end the moment. She wrote her name slow, deliberate, and when she handed the clipboard back, her fingers grazed mine, ice cold despite the warmth of the room. I left. In the truck, I looked at the signature. It wasn't a name. It was the same 3 words over and over, filling the entire line, "Come back tonight." I hadn't driven that route since, but some nights my phone buzzed with a number I didn't recognize, and when I picked up, there was just breathing and a voice, soft and delighted, whispering that she was still waiting. "I can't go back," I told myself. But 3 weeks later, curiosity beat sense, and I found myself parking outside the Silver Lace on a Friday night. She was at the bar before I even got my jacket off. "You came," she said, like she'd been certain of it the whole time. She led me to the VIP room this time. The same room I'd glimpsed weeks ago, now empty except for one chair. She sat me down and told me to relax, that she'd take care of everything. The dance started normal enough, then it didn't. "You'll be easier than the last one. He fought too much," she whispered near my ear, her breath sending chills down my spine. "Wait, what?" I laughed nervously, but she was serious. I noticed her hand drift toward the small table beside the chair, toward a thin cord coiled there like it belonged. Her eyes weren't playful anymore. They were flat, focused. "No, what are you doing?" That's when the pieces lined up, the too friendly delivery, the empty club, the shapes in the dark rooms that never moved on their own, the best of the best, line she probably used on every single one of them. I didn't wait to confirm it. I shoved back hard, knocking the chair into her, and ran through the hallway that felt endless, past doors I didn't dare look into, out into the parking lot and straight into my truck. I didn't look back to see if she followed. I just drove. Later, half shaking in a gas station lot 2 towns over, I looked her up. Small local news pieces, nothing splashy. 3 men over 2 years, all last seen near strip clubs off the interstate, all written off as guys who probably just skipped town. No bodies, no charges, just a pattern nobody had connected yet. I never delivered to that club again. I had dispatched reroute the account, no explanation given. "You know, it's odd," a detective said, reviewing the case files. 4 missing men, all from the same area, no leads. You think they just vanished. The detective looked over at another officer. They had been reviewing the same notes I had. "Maybe someone has a secret." I sat in my truck, heart racing, recalling how close I had come. If I hadn't caught that look in her eyes. I still think about it. How if I had stayed 1 second calmer, 1 second slower to move, I'd have been number 4. I looked up again, hoping to find a clue, another lead. Tonight, we cover a disturbing trend, local men vanishing, last seen near strip clubs. Authorities are urging anyone with information to come forward. My heart sank as the reporter's voice echoed in my mind. "She's still out there. I just hope the next guy notices the cord on the table before it's too late." The night is dark, and the Silver Lace Club stands like a predator waiting for its next unsuspecting prey. Every night shift has one. In the dimly lit diner, the flickering neon sign outside buzzed softly, casting an eerie glow on the cracked linoleum floor. Delilah, a waitress with a weary smile, was used to the oddities of the night crowd. But for the past 3 months, there was one regular who stood out, the man in booth 7. "You're going to want to stop looking at the clock." Delilah paused, her hand hovering over the order pad. She hadn't realized she'd been counting down to 3 a.m. as insistently as she had lately, almost as if the clock had taken on a life of its own. What kind of game is this guy playing? That's just creepy, Delilah. It's important, just trust me on this. Delilah laughed it off, brushing aside the tension in the air. Regulars often said strange things, but something about his tone struck a chord deep within her. The clock, don't look at it tonight. 3:00 a.m. Exactly. The second hand wasn't moving. Panic surged through her and she glanced back at booth 7. Empty. He was never there past 3:15. She'd never actually seen him leave. Hey, what's the holdup? You open or what? The bouncer, a muscular figure named Rick, stepped in front of the thug. Just another night, right? But the atmosphere shifted. The bouncer swore no one had come in or out in the last 20 minutes, leaving Delilah's heart racing. The next night, the booth was empty, and the night after that. Delilah told herself it was good riddance, but as she worked, she found herself glancing at the clock at 2:59, her breath catching in her throat. Hey girl, you look like you've seen a ghost. Delilah forced a smile, but her eyes darted to booth 7, now hauntingly vacant. 3 weeks later, a new regular slid into booth 7. Different face, same folded tip. You're going to want to stop looking at the clock. Delilah's heart plummeted as she recognized the familiar voice. What's up with these guys? You need to get out of here, Delilah. But she couldn't. The diner was her lifeline, yet she never returned to night shifts after that. Days turned into weeks, but every night she jolted awake at exactly 3 a.m., her heart racing, as if some unseen force was watching her. I heard about the girl from the diner. They say she's cursed or something. The old woman's voice echoed in her mind, merging with her own haunted thoughts. Delilah couldn't shake the feeling that something dark lingered just outside her window, waiting. Anyone seen a man in a black coat? Delilah looked up, her heart racing again. She couldn't talk about him, not now. She had to keep quiet. But the detective's presence ignited something in her. She stood up, her voice trembling. You have to forget about the clock. It won't help you. Torn between fear and curiosity, Delilah hesitated. Let it go, Delilah, you're safe now. But as night fell, she felt the familiar dread creep back in. Weeks later, she found herself back in the diner, her heart racing as she approached booth 7. It was empty, but she could feel him there watching her. Don't look at the clock. And she didn't. She turned away, breathing heavily, feeling the weight of his warning. But the clock struck 3 a.m. anyway, and the diner was plunged into darkness. Delilah stood frozen, her heart pounding as the lights flickered back on. She looked at booth 7. It was empty, but the air felt charged with something sinister. She never did find out what would have happened if she'd looked away instead. All she knew was that every night at 3 a.m., she felt the pull of something dark, something that wouldn't let her forget. In a dimly lit club on the outskirts of the city, the air was thick with the scent of cheap cologne and desperation. A spotlight flickered above the stage, revealing a figure who had captivated the hearts and minds of many. They called her the Lullaby, though never to her face. As she began her routine, the crowd fell silent, entranced by the slow, hypnotic rhythm of her movements. There she is again. I can't believe it's been a year since I last saw her. I thought I'd never get the chance to see her dance again. You're obsessed, man. What do you even know about her? Not much, but I've heard stories. Every time she leaves a place, something small goes missing. And what does she leave behind? A candy, a charm, give me a break. The Lullaby began her set, the same 7 songs playing in perfect order. The crowd was entranced, and as the first notes filled the air, a palpable tension enveloped the room. One by one, the patrons fell under her spell, their eyes glazed, their minds drifting. There she is, the elusive Lullaby. We've been tracking her for months, but no one can seem to catch her in the act. What's the deal? Is she really stealing from these guys? Not in the way they think. It's the little things. Keys, lighters, photos, nothing anyone would report, but we need to find out what she's doing with them. As the dance continued, the camera panned across the faces of the entranced men. Each of them wore a look of blissful calm, unaware of the subtle shifts in their pockets. It's like I'm floating. I can't remember the last time I felt this free. You've been here too long. You're gonna miss your chance to leave. The club lights dimmed even further as the lullaby moved to the final song. The crowd began to sway, hypnotized by her movements. A bouncer casually walked through the crowd, ensuring no one got too out of hand. You know, she has a way of making you forget your troubles, but it's not just a dance, it's something more. What do you mean? I mean you leave with something missing. Best be careful, my friend. As the last notes faded, the patrons began to rouse from their stupor. The bouncer gently shook shoulders, urging everyone back to reality. The lullaby had vanished from the stage, slipping into the shadows as she always did. Wait, where's my wallet? I told you to keep an eye on your stuff. One by one, the men checked their belongings. The unease in the room began to rise as they realized something was indeed missing, replaced by small tokens left behind. Hard candies, trinkets, and slips of blank fortune cookie paper. We need to collect statements. This is a pattern. I'll get the witnesses. Outside the club, the lullaby slipped into the night, her silhouette merging with the shadows. She was a phantom, leaving behind a trail of unresolved mysteries, while the patrons remained in a state of confusion, feeling lighter yet incomplete. Did you see that? I felt something was taken from me. You're imagining things. It's just a dance, man. Days passed, and the lullaby's legend grew. Stories circulated about the woman who changed lives with her dance, yet left a piece of each patron behind, forever altered. The detective and the police officer continued their investigation, frustrated by the lack of evidence. There's got to be a connection we're missing. Every time she leaves, someone loses something. We need a plan. And what if we catch her? What do we even charge her with? As time passed, the lullaby returned to the club, her presence a whisper among the regulars. Patrons flocked to see her once more, each one hoping for a taste of the euphoria she had once provided. The detective felt the pull too, but he steeled himself, knowing he had a job to do. This ends tonight. The final song began, and the detective positioned himself near the stage. The lullaby danced, her movements as entrancing as ever. As the crowd fell under her spell, he watched closely, searching for the moment when she would take her next piece. You're not going to stop her, are you? Someone has to. But as the last note played and the patrons began to awaken, the detective felt the weight of his decision. He could feel the room shift, the energy change. Something was happening, yet he couldn't place it. An overwhelming sense of calm washed over him. What's happening? Why do I feel so light? The lullaby disappeared into the night once again, leaving behind a room of satisfied patrons, each one blissfully wrapped in their own newfound serenity. The detective found himself staring into the emptiness, his mind foggy and confused, suddenly unable to recall why he had come in the first place. What just happened? As he stepped outside, he felt a strange emptiness within, something he couldn't quite understand, a piece of himself missing, yet replaced by an inexplicable calm. The lullaby would dance again, and each time she did, she left something in her wake. This isn't over. But deep down, he couldn't shake the feeling that he was becoming another one of her regulars, another lost soul in the rhythm of her lullaby, forever changed, forever searching.
Subscribe to Storytime by Elite for chilling scary stories, dark confessions, Reddit drama, twisted revenge stories, and mysteries that stay with you long after they end. New stories every day.